At 73, she was full of life. No major health problems, no warnings. Yesterday, she was sipping her morning tea, mapping out her day. This morning, she was gone. Just like that. Her family is left with one haunting question. Could this have been prevented? As it turns out, the answer might be yes. And the most unsettling part? Evelyn isn't alone. Every day, countless women over 65 unknowingly make tiny mistakes, habits so routine they barely register. But these small choices can lead to devastating consequences. The good news? These dangers are avoidable. And today, we're uncovering 6 common mistakes that could be quietly harming your health. Mistakes linked to falls, strokes, heart issues, and even memory loss. You might be making one right now without even realizing it. So let's dive in. Because of the last mistake, it could change how you live the rest of your life. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. 1. Don't push yourself when you're hungry. Imagine this. It's a crisp morning, the sun's golden rays slipping through the curtains, and 71-year-old Margaret is already outside in her garden, determined to clear the weeds before the heat of the day sets in. She hasn't eaten since dinner the night before, almost 12 hours ago, but she tells herself she'll grab something later. After all, she's always been active, always on the move. A little hunger has never stopped her before. Then, just as she pulls at a stubborn weed, something shifts. A wave of dizziness washes over her. Her vision darkens at the edges, her knees wobble, and before she knows it, she's on the ground, disoriented and clutching her chest. A concerned neighbor rushes over, but the damage is done. Hours later, her doctor confirms the cause, a minor stroke, likely triggered by the combination of exertion and low blood sugar. Margaret's story is more common than you might think. Mornings are a delicate time, a transition between deep rest and the demands of the day. Your body has been fasting overnight, which means your blood sugar is at its lowest. Energy reserves are depleted, and your heart is still adjusting to the increased demands of movement. Yet, many older adults dive straight into physical activity, gardening, jogging, housework, without properly fueling their bodies. It's like trying to start a long journey with an empty gas tank. Dr. Sarah Thompson, a seasoned cardiologist, explains, "As we age, our blood vessels lose flexibility, and our bodies respond more dramatically to morning adrenaline surges. Exercising on an empty stomach puts additional strain on the heart, increasing the risk of dizziness, falls, and even strokes." A 2021 study in the Journal of Gerontology supports this, revealing that seniors who perform strenuous activity before eating face a 15% higher stroke risk. So, what's the solution? Simple adjustments make a world of difference. Start your day with a small, nutrient-dense snack, perhaps a banana, a handful of nuts, or whole grain toast. Follow it with gentle movement, stretching, tai chi, or a slow walk. Your body will thank you. And if you think this mistake is dangerous, wait until you hear the next one. It's even sneakier. 2. Don't spring out of bed too fast. Picture this. 68-year-old Clara, a retired teacher, has always been a morning person. She wakes to the sound of her alarm, and without a second thought, she tosses off the covers, swings her legs over the side of the bed, and stands up, only to feel the room tilt around her. A wave of dizziness hits, her vision blurs, and her heart pounds as she clutches the nightstand for support. Just a head rush, she thinks, brushing it off. But one morning, that fleeting dizziness turns into a full collapse. She loses her balance, falls hard, and ends up in the hospital with a fractured hip, a life-altering injury. Clara's story is a stark reminder of a simple yet overlooked truth. Getting up too quickly can be dangerous, especially as we age. When you sleep, your body naturally slows down. Your heart rate dips, your blood pressure lowers, and your circulation becomes sluggish. Jumping out of bed is like forcing a car from 0 to 60 in an instant. Your cardiovascular system isn't always ready to handle that jolt, and for older adults, the body's ability to adjust isn't as quick as it used to be. This sudden shift can cause orthostatic hypotension, a sharp drop in blood pressure when standing up, leading to dizziness, fainting, or dangerous falls. According to the National Institute on Aging, falls related to blood pressure drops are a leading cause of senior injuries, accounting for over 3 million emergency room visits each year. And beyond dizziness, years of wear on joints and the spine mean sudden movements can strain muscles or even trigger fractures. So how do you start your day safely? The answer lies in patience. Think of a flower slowly opening with the morning sun, gentle, intentional, unhurried. When you wake up, pause. Breathe deeply, wiggle your fingers and toes, and give your body a moment to transition. Roll onto your side, push yourself up slowly, and let your feet dangle for 30 seconds before standing with support if needed. This small change isn't just about avoiding falls, it's about honoring the body that has carried you through life. And speaking of morning mistakes, the next one is just as sneaky. Let's dive in. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. 3. Don't strain too hard in the bathroom. It's a quiet morning, and 75-year-old Helen follows her usual routine. She heads to the bathroom. Just another daily habit, nothing out of the ordinary. But today feels different. She sits, tries to go, and finds herself straining. A little push, then a little more. Suddenly, a sharp pain stabs her chest. Her head swims, her breath shortens, and before she knows it, she's slumped against the wall, gasping. Paramedics later tell her family that she suffered a heart scare, all because of something as seemingly harmless as pushing too hard on the toilet. Helen's experience isn't unique. It's a silent but serious danger that catches many off guard. Straining during bowel movements creates a surge in intra-abdominal pressure, which in turn affects blood circulation, particularly to the heart. For older adults, many of whom already have narrowed arteries due to aging or underlying conditions, this sudden spike in pressure can be the last straw, triggering a heart attack or even a stroke. The American Heart Association warns that excessive straining can also rupture delicate blood vessels in the brain, increasing stroke risk by 10% in those over 65. And it's not just the heart and brain at risk, your lower body pays the price, too. Think of your body like a pressure cooker. Apply too much force, and something has to give. Straining can lead to swollen veins in the rectum, causing painful hemorrhoids, or even more serious conditions like rectal prolapse. So, what's the solution? Prevention is simpler than you think. Don't force it. Instead, support your digestion naturally by adding fiber-rich foods like apples, oats, beans, and leafy greens to your diet. Hydration is key. Drinking plenty of water keeps things moving smoothly. And here's an overlooked tip. Avoid lingering on the toilet with distractions like your phone, as prolonged sitting also adds unnecessary strain. Next time you're in the bathroom, ask yourself, are you rushing what should be effortless? A small change today could prevent a life-altering event tomorrow. And speaking of hidden dangers, the next one might be happening right in your own home. Let's explore. 4. Don't cut yourself off from loved ones. At 72, James rarely steps outside his apartment. After losing his wife, he gradually withdrew from the world, telling himself he just needed time. He stopped answering phone calls, ignored invitations, and let friendships fade. Days turned into weeks, then months. At first, he told himself he enjoyed the solitude. But then came the long, empty afternoons, the quiet dinners alone, and the creeping sense of loneliness that settled in his bones. Soon, his mood darkened, and something else happened. His memory wasn't as sharp. He'd forget why he walked into a room, lose track of dates, and struggle to recall familiar names. James didn't recognize the shift, but his body did. A 2022 study from Harvard found that social isolation doesn't just affect emotions. It accelerates cognitive decline and increases mortality risk by 29% in older adults. The brain is like a muscle. It weakens when unused. Without social stimulation, memory fades, problem-solving slows, and even the immune system suffers. Loneliness has been linked to heart disease, high blood pressure, and even a greater risk of dementia. Connection is oxygen for the soul. Yet, aging often shrinks a person's world. Retirement, loss of loved ones, mobility issues, but isolation is not inevitable. Seniors who remain engaged with others live longer, healthier, and happier lives, says gerontologist Dr. Linda Hayes. The key is taking small, consistent steps to stay connected. So, what can you do? Start simple. Call a friend. Even a 5-minute chat can lift your spirits. Video chat with a grandchild. Seeing their face can make a world of difference. Join a book club, a gardening group, or a local senior center. Volunteering is another powerful option. Mentoring young kids, helping at a food bank, or assisting in a community project. Even a short walk in the park can lead to a friendly chat with a neighbor. Ask yourself, who could you reach out to today? Relationships aren't luxuries, they're lifelines. And speaking of overlooked dangers, the next mistake isn't about what you're doing, it's about what you're ignoring. Let's dive in. 5. Don't skip health checkups. Linda, 70, always considered herself in good shape. She stayed active, ate well, and rarely felt unwell. So, she figured there was no need to see the doctor. Why fix what isn't broken? But one afternoon, while carrying groceries inside, a tight pain gripped her chest. She brushed it off at first. Just stress, she thought. Then it worsened. A trip to the emergency room revealed the truth. Untreated high blood pressure had been silently damaging her heart for years. Linda's story isn't unusual. Many seniors feel fine, until suddenly, they don't. The CDC reports that 50% of older adults have undetected conditions like hypertension, diabetes, or heart disease. Hidden dangers that only routine screenings can catch in time. High blood pressure, for instance, often has no symptoms but increases the risk of stroke, heart failure, and kidney damage. High cholesterol clogs arteries silently. Elevated blood sugar? It could lead to diabetes without a single warning sign. Think of checkups as your early warning system, a safeguard against threats you can't see or feel. A simple blood pressure reading, cholesterol test, or glucose check could reveal an issue before it turns into a crisis. Catching problems early doesn't just add years to your life, it keeps those years vibrant and healthy. So, when was your last checkup? If you can't remember, it's time to schedule one. And don't just stop at the doctor. Dentists, eye specialists, and hearing tests matter, too. Oral infections, vision loss, and hearing decline can all affect your overall well-being. And here's a rule of thumb. If something feels off, unusual fatigue, dizziness, or unexplained pain, don't wait. Ignoring symptoms only gives problems more time to grow. Your health isn't just about avoiding illness, it's about thriving. A small appointment today could prevent a major event tomorrow. And now, let's talk about the final mistake. It's a game changer. You won't want to miss it. 6. Don't neglect your mind. At 74, Susan felt life getting smaller. Her brother had passed away, her knees no longer allowed long morning walks, and friends seemed to drift apart. She told herself it was just part of aging, feeling a little down, forgetting things more often. But the sadness stayed. Over time, it fogged her thinking, stole her energy, and dulled her joy. She didn't realize she was slipping into depression. Susan isn't alone. The National Institute of Mental Health reports that 20% of seniors struggle with mental health issues, yet many dismiss them as just getting old. But mental well-being isn't a luxury, it's essential. Unchecked stress, grief, and loneliness don't just dampen your mood. They can accelerate cognitive decline, weaken immunity, and even shorten lifespan. Think of your mind as a garden. If you neglect it, weeds, like negativity, isolation, or apathy, take over. But with care, it can stay vibrant, fertile, and alive. What's the secret? Keep learning. Read, play chess, take up painting, or learn a new language. Studies show challenging your brain regularly helps prevent memory loss and keep thinking sharp. But mental health isn't just about puzzles and books. It's about movement, connection, and expression. Walk in nature, dance to your favorite song, write in a journal, or practice meditation. These activities release feel-good chemicals that lift mood and fight anxiety. And if the shadows don't lift? Talk to someone. A counselor, a support group, or then a trusted friend can help. Depression and anxiety aren't signs of weakness. They're signals that your mind needs attention, just like your body. So, how are you tending your inner garden? A thriving mind is the key to a fulfilling life, at any age. And now, let's talk about something even deeper. 3 regrets many people have in old age and how to avoid them. You won't want to miss this. Aging wisely isn't just about adding years, it's about making the years count. We've uncovered 6 crucial mistakes that many seniors make, often without realizing the risks. From skipping breakfast to neglecting mental health, these small habits can have a big impact. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What was your biggest takeaway from this video? Was it the importance of rising slowly in the morning? The hidden dangers of straining in the bathroom? Or maybe the reminder to stay socially connected? Comment below and share one thing you've learned today that you'll put into practice in your own life. And if you found this video helpful, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's keep learning and growing together. See you in the next video.